Hey everyone, Lee Jondro here with Abundant Grace Fellowship here in Keene, New Hampshire. This morning I want to share a little bit about 3 John uh, chapter 1 verse 2. It says, "Beloved, I desire that you would prosper and that you would be in good health, even as your soul prospers." And over the years of my Christianity, uh, I came up in a faith church, and 30 years ago, there was a strong emphasis on being prosperous, and I certainly believe in prosperity as opposed to poverty. It doesn't mean I deny the existence of poverty. I just think that when we're prospering, it's so much easier to do the things uh, that are necessary. And I don't think there's a magic formula for what prosperity is or isn't. But what I do think, and I want to move on because I don't want to get hung up on the prosper part so much, because all too often it's had a negative connotation because people have miscued on it. They've taken one part of the scripture and they've only focused on that. But the second part says, "Beloved, I desire that you would prosper and that you would be in good health." And that tells me that, if I didn't know any other scripture in the whole Bible related to health, and I've been putting this together in our training. So those of you who are in the training routine that we're doing, whether you're in AGF here, Abundant Grace Fellowship, or you want to party up with us to share these things with your children, your family, your friends, I've begun to deal with the idea of health in our training. And and so if I didn't know any other scripture, I could easily land on the fact that it was Paul's desire as he spoke to the people, or John's desire rather, as he spoke to the people. He's calling them beloved, so he's reaching out in his arms of love. And he continues on and he says that I desire that you would prosper. I desire that you would have things, that you would be elevated in the way you live your life. And then he goes and he says, and that you would be in good health. And so good health is important, because without good health, even if we had all the prosperity, without the health, we wouldn't be able to utilize whatever that prosperity looks like to us. And then we come to the end, which doesn't get talked about a lot. Even as your soul prospers, there needs to be a flow, there needs to be a connectivity between prosperity and health and how we think. The word soul for many years was defined, and I don't disagree with this, but it was defined as mind, will, and intellect. But there's a magic spark that lives within our soul. As you read through the scriptures, you find out that there's something miraculous, something wondrous, that even when if we leave this natural life and we go into this place of death, our soul continues on. And, many, many years ago, there was this guy, and I'm not going to tell you who it was because there was all sorts of controversy around it, but he said, it's kind of like getting out of one car and getting into another. I'm not changing who I am. My soul is getting out of this vehicle here called life here on earth and moving into this one, which is my heavenly existence. And and so, beloved, I desire that you would prosper and that you would be in good health, even as your soul prospers. I think it's really problematic in some respects that we've denied the existence of soul in the usage of this scripture, in the usage of this verse. We talk about mental health. Actually, what we talk about more is the lack of mental health. And so our soul prospering, our mental health needs to be elevated, just as we would be elevated in perhaps our finances if you attribute that to the prosperity piece, or you attribute it to your health, which is clear to see. It means that your health, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, even as your soul prospers. And I think that it's going to be really important for us to devote time. The very purpose I'm doing these is not so you can go, hey, that was a great message, check. Maybe a year down the road I'll deal with it. No, I want to provoke you to greater works. I want to exhort you to move to the next level. Just this morning I met with a friend of mine, and I was saying, if I look back over the last 10 years and my life hasn't changed, then it's the way I think, not necessarily the way I do other things. So for my soul to prosper, and for me to be in good health, and for me to prosper, I need to have all those things interconnected. Interconnected. Just now I thought of this example, and I'll share this in closing. You know, I do a lot of images on my computer and things like that. And the image could be, and I'll just pick 1 inch by 2 inch because some people won't understand what pixels are, but 1 inch by 2 inch. And then if I want to reduce that or increase that, I go in and there's a program that I use and it says enlarge or reduce, whatever it is. And if I don't put this little lock together that locks the height with the width, I'll end up with an image that will be 1 inch by 4 inches. So I need to remember to connect it. It has a little lock icon, a little chain coming together icon. And I think that's how this verse works. That, beloved, I desire that you would prosper and that you would be in good health, but not without being connected to your soul. So I share that with you. Work on your soul. Work on your emotions. Work on your mental health. Do the things that are necessary to elevate your place, that seatedness, if you will, of emotion, of will, of intellect. Don't let that be pulled aside. Don't go to the gym and lift weights all day and do all the stewardship over the things of finance and things to prosper without stewarding your mind. God bless you. I love you. Thank you.